Live? Oh, I guess we are. Hey guys, sorry, we're running a couple minutes behind. Apologize. Hump Day Hangouts went a little long because of the training I did. If you guys missed any of that, please check it out because we talked about indexing, using automating the indexing process using Backlink Commando and Backlinks Indexer. And it's something that works great for the video networks especially. And that's in the Hump Day Hangouts. So I'm not going to rehash any of that here because I don't want to waste your time with that. But it's part of the Hump Day Hangouts. If you guys want, we can add the link to the replay for Hump Day Hangouts in today's lesson page inside Masterclass as well, because I think that's important. It will help you guys with your indexing. It will help to rank your videos if you can get your Web 2 links indexed faster. So that said, welcome to Masterclass Week 3. I've got Marco on with me for support right now. And we're going to get into it, guys, because we got a lot to cover, and today is kind of a continuation. By the way, Marco, say hi. I'm sorry. I was being rude.
Hi, everybody.
We got a lot to cover since we didn't get to finish the YouTube on page last week. We're going to cover that today, and we're going to talk about some companion website stuff, too, because those are questions that have been coming up a lot recently. So let me take the screen for the slideshow for a minute and just do the little brief introduction. I have TTT SEO Masterclass. This is actually week 3. I didn't edit that. Sorry. That was my fault. What we will cover on-page video optimization and using a companion website, and then we're going to answer the Q&A. I know that Carl had a question on the events page. He was the only one, at least prior to Hump Day Hangouts. And so we'll get to that, Carl, I promise. And any other questions that come in during the presentation, we're going to try to answer those as well. But as you guys know, if we don't get to the questions here, you just post them in the Facebook group, and we'll get to them there, okay? Again, I think that's important to get your questions answered, but that's what the Facebook group is for. Even for the non-paying members, you know what I mean, the non-Masterclass members, we can answer some of the questions there, which will encourage more to join the Masterclass, which will only help them too, right? So that said, let's go ahead and move on. Okay, so on-page YouTube optimization. There's a lot of stuff that we can do, guys, for optimizing the YouTube video itself, and some of them, depending on what, there's 3 types of ways to basically stream a video or get a video on your channel. Okay, there's 3 ways. There's upload it, or there's streaming it, but there's 2 ways to stream it. You can either do a Hangout on air, or you can do a YouTube live event, and there are some differences in the 2, and we're going to talk about those as well. But if you're going to use the traditional route of uploading a video, which I don't recommend, I don't do that anymore at all. Let me rephrase that. For like my training videos and stuff, guys, I upload those the traditional route, right? So I'll do a screencast video, and as soon as I'm done, it'll upload it into my YouTube channel for me. I use Snagit for my screencast videos, and it just does it automatically. But that's because I'm not really trying to rank those videos. If I'm trying to rank a video, I will do a Hangout on air or a YouTube live event. Okay, and if it's a pre-recorded video, you can still do those, and we're going to talk about that a little bit too on the next slide. So let's just get through the more traditional upload stuff first, and then we're going to get to that. So there's a few things that you can do. Now, a lot of this is kind of like YouTube SEO 101. This is stuff that's been around forever, but file name. You always want to start with the file name. So let me go ahead and take the whole screen because I'm going to kind of walk through some of this as we go. And I want you guys to be able to see the whole screen instead of just the slideshow. All right. So with the file name, so the file name of the actual video file itself. So let's say you create a video, you want to rename the file name to be the the keyword phrase that you want to rank for. Okay, and over the years there's been questions as to whether you should put spaces in there or hyphens or just run it all together so it looks like one word. Guys, I just always upload. I just do it the way that I would. So for example, let me just open up something here, and this one right here, powered by VidBlaster. This is just a demo video right here. So if I wanted to rank for powered by VidBlaster, I would rename this file, and let's do something else. Let's say I wanted to rank for video SEO. Okay, I would rename it video SEO like that, and I just always left the spaces in and stuff like that. It never bothered me to do that, and I think maybe years ago, 2009, 2010. You might have wanted to use hyphens and stuff like that, but now it doesn't matter. So I just always would rename the file the keyword that you want to rank for. So if it's like, you know, plumbing repair Fairfax VA for Virginia, you know, then I would do plumbing repair Fairfax VA would be the file name. Okay, does that make sense? So just rename the file. That's step one. Metadata. You guys, you can add metadata to your video files. Okay, and I know that the question comes up and says, well, YouTube strips the metadata out when you upload the file. Well, that may be so, but they read that data before they strip it out. And I have tested this, and I've absolutely seen a ranking boost when you add metadata to the file. Okay, so how do you do that? There's a couple ways to do that. We're going to walk through if you have Windows. Okay, if you have Windows, I don't know about Windows 8, but Windows 7 and several versions prior to that, you can do this. And I don't know about Mac either because I'm not a Mac user. But right here, if I right-click on the file name and I click on Properties, bring up this dialog box, this window, and from here, if I go over to Details, right here I can start adding metadata to the file. Okay? So, what's the best way to add metadata here? Guys, do not take your main keyword, which in this case would be video SEO, right? Based on this example. And let's say, let's do this. Let me exit out of that for a minute. Let's get local with this, right? Because that's typically what I'm doing anyway. So let's say video SEO Virginia or video SEO city, right? So like I could say Culpeper, which is where I live, which is really non-competitive because it's in the country. But let's just say that that's what I was going after. So I do video SEO Culpeper VA, right? That's my main keyword phrase that I'm trying to rank for. Go to Properties, go to Details. Do not take the same keyword and put it here and here and here and here. Don't do that because you're stuffing, right? You don't need to do that. What I recommend doing is when you've done your keyword research, you're going to have additional terms, right? You're going to have so maybe let's say for here, let's say, what if I say YouTube SEO, right? For this one, instead of just video SEO, I'll do YouTube SEO, right? For subtitle, maybe I'll say search. And you guys, you'll know this, damn it. You'll know this because you should have already done your keyword research. You should have a list of LSI keyword phrases, synonyms, right? So let's say search engine optimization, spelled it out, for videos in Culpeper maybe. Let's do that, okay? Then for tags, same thing. You want to put some additional like LSI keyword phrases in here, some other keyword phrases other than your main keyword phrase, okay? And this one says YouTube SEO. You notice how I did not put Culpeper in there because you don't want to put the geographic modifier after everything. It's unnecessary. Okay, so for tags, I might just say, let's say video marketing. That would be a good one. Video marketing. And again, I would know these because I would have had a list of keywords, right? So I would already have them. I could just literally copy and paste and put them in. Comments. Guys, if you're doing local, put a citation here. NAP, name, address, phone number, right? So for example, I could say Big Bamboo Marketing. I put a comma, space, then I could do my main my main address, which would be, 123 Main Street, whatever, Culpeper, VA, VA, and I misspelled that again. And Culpeper is with one P in the middle before you guys say you misspelled Culpeper. VA 22701, and put another comma, another space, then I could put my phone number, right? So I do 540-445-765. And then I could also do another comma space, and then I could put my URL. I could do bigbamboomarketing.com, right? So put your NAP here, guys. It does make a difference. If you're not doing local, then you can put a comment, a description in there, like a one or two sentence description where you get the keyword in there or variations of, okay? Next, if you scroll down, you'll see that you have contributing artist, year, genre. So like, for example, for genre, I like to put in a high-level term. So I might just say video here, okay? Or video marketing would be another good term, but I already used it up there, so I wouldn't use it again. Contributing artist right here is where I'll put the name of the business that I'm trying to rank it for. So in this case, let's just say it's Big Bamboo Marketing, okay? Then for here, guys, you got directors, producers, writers, all of that. You can see author URL, that sort of thing. Promotion URL. So here are additional places that we can put. Like for example, I might put the URL for my Google Plus local page here or business page, right? the promotion URL. I might put an interlink, a link to the one of the a page on my site, not necessarily the home page, but an interlink. You guys see that? You can add a bunch of data here, and it just takes a minute to fill it out. But once you've done that, you've now added a bunch of additional data that reinforces.
Bradley,
go ahead.
On those spaces for the URL, that's a great place to start your trust flow manipulation. You go and you shorten your YouTube channel URL.
That's a good point.
Your G+ page URL with Google URL shortener, and drop them in there.
Okay, but just keep in mind, yes, that's a great idea, Marco, but we're talking to masterclass right now, not mastermind. and the floodgates of questions are about to open because of what you just said.
No, I know, but I mean, this is a great way for them to start their just adding value, let's say, to their video.
Yeah. So guys, think about that. I mean, you could put your YouTube channel URL here, right? You could put a playlist URL in here. Okay, you could put, like I said, a Google Plus business page. You could just anywhere where it's talking about URLs, you could put additional links in there. What Marco's talking about is how you can use Google URL shortener, which is goo.gl. Okay, which is Google's URL shortener. It's kind of like Bitly. However, I don't recommend using Bitly for this kind of stuff. Bitly is part of our IFTTT networks, guys. I get that, but for what we're talking about, I would not recommend using Bitly. There's various reasons for that, of which we're not going to get into here because that's beyond the scope of Masterclass. That's part of Mastermind. But I do want to say that you can piggyback off of the authority of using Google's URL shortener because it's a domain authority of 100. So if you're actually taking like a YouTube channel URL, which would be a domain authority of 100, and you shorten it with goo.gl, you're just stacking authority. Okay, that's a buzz term. Everybody's heard of domain authority stacking. It's kind of what we do with our IFTTT networks and our interlinking of properties, but that's a way to add additional authority to your links. Okay, don't spam using Google shortener, but if you use it the right way and strategically, you can do amazing things with it. All right, so that said, guys, once you've done that, you just want to hit apply, and that's going to have applied all of the metadata to the file. It's going to optimize it, okay? It's going to help it to rank better, okay? So that's one way to do it, is if you're using Windows. Another way is MP3 Tag. MP3 Tag is a software that you can download, and I think it was Gary Kirwan, who's also a Mastermind member, who pointed out that they have a version for Mac now that I didn't, I knew they had a Windows version because I've used it over the years before I realized I could do it in Windows. But MP3 Tag, it's a free software. You can download it. Marco, I'm going to post this here. If you can post this on the events page. Guys, remember all of the training materials, the notes, and the links to everything are also going to be in the replay underneath the video on the replay. So don't freak out if you don't get them here because it will be available on the replay right underneath the video, and you can click on them there. Okay, so that MP3 tag that let me just go ahead and, that's the one for Mac that I just posted, Marco. Let me copy this and just open up. Okay, so guys, I think I have it installed on my computer, but I'm not going to open it up because I want to keep running through this, guys, instead of wasting time on this. You can download this for free, okay, and then you can also use this to modify the metadata. But again, if you're using Windows, just do it in Windows. In my opinion, that's what I do now. This is kind of cool though because you could essentially put a bunch of video files in there and kind of do everything in bulk and from one interface if you wanted. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And then the Mac version, again, I've got to give credit. I think it was to Gary for finding the link for the Mac version of it because I didn't know that existed. And I think he shared that in Mastermind. I couldn't find the post. I did try to verify that it was him that shared it, but they do have a Mac version. Okay, so if you guys, I don't know about Mac, if you can edit metadata directly in Mac, like their browser, I don't know what the hell they call it. It's not Windows Explorer. I don't know what the hell it is, but if not, this will enable you to do that. Okay, so I'm going to keep moving. Okay, title. We talked about this in Hump Day Hangouts just a minute ago, but title is the #1 place that you should have your keyword, and I always try to lead with the keyword first. Okay, if there's going to be a longer title, with conversational or a call to action or something, that's fine, but I always put that second. I put the keyword first. Okay, we did also talk about, should you put the keyword in more than once, or should you use multiple keywords in the title? I do not. However, I know that people have and have had success with putting like the main keyword and then a variation of the keyword in the title. So there's two versions, and that's fine. I know that it's worked for others. I'm just telling you what I typically do is go after one main keyword per video, and if I happen to rank it for other keyword phrases as well, well, then that's a bonus. But typically, if I've got, let's say I'm going after three particular keywords, right? I will do three separate videos, one each targeting each separate keyword, right? And that's just the way I do it. And because in my opinion, if you focus it, you get better results. Although, like I said, I have seen others that have done well with that. Okay, so play with it. Remember, guys, I'm giving you what I do, and they're good guidelines to go by. But I totally encourage you guys to go out and make your own flavor, right, of SEO or video SEO. I'm telling you what works for me, but test other things as well. Don't just take what I say and go do exactly that and that only. Play with things, test things. You'll figure out stuff that works. Okay. Description. I mentioned this in the previous Hump Day Hangout there earlier. But the description, you can have up to 5,000 characters in your YouTube description. Use them. Okay, try to get an article in there. Basically, treat it as a place for a blog post, and treat it the same way as a blog post as far as your optimization rules, right? Like you want to keep your keyword density down. It's no longer something that you want to do, is where you got your keyword density real high. You don't want to do that. You want to use natural language patterns when you're writing. Something, guys, that I know I've mentioned this before, and I know some of you have taken us up on it or taken him up on it. Keith Goodwin, who owns superspunarticles.com. He, by the way, I'm gonna bring him in on a webinar. He's gonna do a webinar on his on spinning and articles and stuff like that. Sometime. I don't know when yet, but sometime. No, that's not it. That's the wrong one. Wait a second. Superspun Article. Superspunarticle.com. Keith Goodwin, he does a fantastic job. The guy's really, really good. And so if you're going to be doing a lot of videos in a particular niche, which, guys, remember, in the first week, I'm recommended that you select a niche and build a channel around that and go after that one particular niche so that you can do your keyword research once. You can get the content done once. For example, you buy a Superspun article from this guy. Let's say it's the plumbing niche. Let's just use that as an example. Say it's the plumbing niche. You get a Superspun article done by him for plumbing. And what I'll do is I will set up in tags. Let me just give you an example. When I order the article from him, I do. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see. I'll give him instructions. I'll give him the main keyword and then a few LSI keywords. So let's say I was doing plumbing repair. Let's just say that that's what I was targeting. And I always spell that wrong, always. Plumbing repair would be my main keyword. Then I would give him my secondary keywords, right? My secondary keywords, so let's make this my primary keyword. Plumbing repair, and my secondary keyword, and I would say to do something like this, like in, and then I do like a tilde. It doesn't matter, you can do whatever you want, but like in location. And I tell him to use the location tags because I'm going to swap those out with city names. And so when you make an order, and you don't, you guys, it doesn't have to be him. I'm just telling you, I use him and he's great. And give him business. He's a good dude. He's in our IFTTT SEO group. Okay, so he's a good guy. But secondary keywords, I might say, plumbing, repair, contractor. Maybe I'll say master plumber. Maybe I'll say emergency plumber, and you can swap out plumber with plumbing. So you could say, emergency plumbing contractor, things like that. I just give them some additional secondary keywords, and then I'll just tell them to sprinkle in the location tag throughout the article naturally, so that it's not stuffed. You don't need to, it doesn't need to go after every single time that plumbing repair is used, right? Because that would be too much. But just to sprinkle that in. The reason I do that is because now, guys, when we get the article back, it's going to have this location tag in the article, and all we need to do is use the find and replace function to copy that and paste it in to find and replace. So let's put that here. and then we type in whatever city it is that we're going after. So let's just use, again, Fairfax as an example, right? Fairfax, Virginia. There's let's say that our first one, the first video that we're doing is a plumbing repair or emergency plumbing, Fairfax, Virginia. Well, all I would do is put in Fairfax, VA, and I could replace. And you can see that it replaced that tag. Well, we'll replace all. So all instances or occurrences of that in the article will now be replaced with that. In fact, since you're going to be spinning, you could do that, or you could also, since you're going to unspin the article, right, before you paste that in as your description. That's why I'm recommending this, by the way, just to get back to the original point, which is I recommend if you're going to go after a particular industry, you just go ahead and order a super spun article, because now you can use that same article for every single video that you do. All you need to do is unspin a new version of it, and that's it. You just get a new version every time you go to do a video, and it's done. You don't have to worry about content anymore. You don't got to worry about your keyword density, because it's all taken care of in your article. If you're going after multiple niches, so for example, if you set up a channel that you're going after a particular city or a location, right, and you're going to target all types of businesses, then you're going to need to worry about content for every single video that you do, right? So that's why I recommend going after a particular industry. But let's just say that you were going to do this for, plumbers in Virginia, whatever, and so I would say Virginia, and I would do a spin tag like that, and as a matter of fact, this would now have to be Fairfax, VA, and watch this. And in fact, I'll even put a blank spin tag in there. I'll show you what I mean. And guys, this is not a tutorial on spinning, but I just want to give you an example of how you can make it even more diverse. So if I replace all now you'll see that I have spin tags set up where at one unspinning of it will give me a Fairfax, VA, another unspinning would give me Fairfax, Virginia, another unspinning would just give me Fairfax. Okay? And so that location tag with the tildes that you just saw a minute ago will be sprinkled all throughout the content of the super spun article. When I replace it with this sort of a tag with the spin text, then it's going to replace every occurrence with this, which means in every location that location tag was, or in each place where that location tag was, it will take one version of this, right? So it just makes it more unique. Does that make sense? And so you unspin it, and that's why I'm saying, having if you have the ability to put 5,000 characters in a YouTube video description, then do something like this where you get a nice, well-spun article, whether it's from Keith or if you do it yourself. If you want, you can. I don't recommend that because your time is better spent doing other things. But if you want to do it yourself, by all means do it. But create a master article that you can use over and over and over again, because that will considerably cut down your work time, your labor on all of the other videos that you do going ahead, and make it to where when you unspin it, it's between 3,500 to 5,000 characters. Okay, it will give you a considerable advantage over other videos that are not utilizing the description space properly. Okay. Tags. We talked about tags in the Hump Day Hangout as well. What I do for tags, guys, is I go after the main keyword phrase as my first tag. Then I take that, and so again, if we're talking about local, let's use plumbing, emergency plumber, Fairfax, VA, and let me type this out because it'll make it easier. Let's say that, let's say I was going, or let's just go after the plumbing repair. Let's use that as the main. That's my main keyword, guys, right there, primary keyword. So for my tags, this is what I would do. And they would be all lowercase, so I'll just go ahead and type it out. But let's say plumbing repair, Fairfax, VA. That would be tag number 1, comma. Then I would do plumbing contractor. Hold on. You know what? Let me actually go into, and I want to show you this why, guys. Let me go into videos, and let's go to new live event. And I'll show you why, because let's clear these out real quick. These are default tags. Remember last week, guys, when we did channel setup and we did default tags? Talked about your upload defaults. That's why you're seeing this here, because those are upload defaults. But all right, let's point this out. And the reason why I want to show this to you guys live is because you're going to start seeing semantic tags pop up as I'm typing, and that's very important. And I want to drive that home. So again, I would start with plumbing repair, Fairfax, VA, comma. As soon as you hit comma, it's going to actually create the tag, right? So my next tag would be plumbing. And you see how this says plumbing literature subject? That's not a tag that I want. Okay, so I would just go ahead and type out plumbing and hit comma. I don't want the semantic tag literature subject, right? Because that doesn't make any sense. So I'm not going to use that. However, let's go to plumber. See how plumber profession shows up? That's a semantic tag I want to use. So I'm going to click on that. Now I've got a semantic tag, which, guys, that's really important. Those of you that aren't real familiar with what the semantic web is, I'm not going to go into a tutorial right now as to what the semantic web is. It's beyond the scope of what this training is about. However, just know that there is a database of what's called entities. Okay, and entities are how Google. That's how Google determines what. It's a way to teach machines how to understand what things are, what objects are, for them to kind of. It's like a way to teach a machine how to understand language and what and objects and entities and things like that. And there is a database, it's called Freebase, which actually Google is deprecating this month. That's the end of Freebase, which is their semantic web database. At least it won't be available to the public anymore. But freebase.com, you can check it out. That's their you won't be able to edit or add to it anymore as of this month. But Freebase is their semantic database, and that is where these tags come from, guys. Very, very important that you use them. A lot of people don't even know what they're for, but trust me. So anyways, plumbing repair Fairfax VA, plumbing plumber, I might go a little bit further and say like plumbing contractor would be maybe another one. Okay? Then I would do Fairfax VA, okay? Then I would start typing out just Fairfax. Now watch Fairfax US County, you see that? Okay, that's Fairfax U.S. County. That's a semantic tag. Now I'm going to type out Fairfax. There's also Fairfax City, which is it's actually located within Fairfax County. It's same thing if I did like Vienna or McLean or any one of the other cities that are within Fairfax County. So if I was actually targeting Fairfax City, I would make sure that I use that. All right. Then I would also type in just plain VA. Okay, and then I would also, and that was wrong, let me do VA, and then Virginia. I'll start typing out Virginia, and here's Virginia, U.S. State. See that? And lastly, what I would do, and that's it, guys. So you see that all of my tags are a subset of the main keyword phrase, and that's it, nothing else, right? I didn't add to it. Again, I know that other people will teach to go ahead and grab as many tags as you can. That's fine, guys. Like I said, I'm telling you what I do. And this works really well. You know what I mean? I rank videos all the time. So this is how I do it, all right? And then lastly, if you've got zip codes. So, for example, Fairfax City, if we were to just go look at Fairfax City VA zip codes. Fairfax City is rather small, and it's still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 zip codes here. By the way, guys, this will be kind of interesting for you guys to watch this. This zipcodes.com right here, if we open this up, you'll see this. I use this site a lot, but you'll see right here, these are the zip codes that Google just showed at the top of the screen right here. You see these? These are Fairfax City zip codes right here. But what I would suggest is if you take a look at them, there's only 4 of these zip codes that are actually like regular normal postal codes. The rest of them are unique or PO boxes, right? So you can see there's no population in some of these. So these are, in my opinion, worthless. So what I would do is I would just take these 4 right here. So 22030, 22031. Those would be 4 zip codes that I would add into my tags as well. Each one of them being a separate tag. So for example, I would say 22030, 22031, and I would just do that until I had 032, I mean here. So I had all 4 zip codes in there as well. Okay, does that make sense? So by the way, guys, like I said, zip-codes.com. I use this site a lot to find out, because it's always gives me such, it's easy to find the zip codes for pretty much any city or any area, including the smaller towns, guys. Like think about, like I just said, McLean, Vienna. So like let's look at Vienna, Virginia, which is a town that is inside of Fairfax County, Virginia. If I click on this, you'll see that zipcodes.com right here is the site. If we take a look at this, this will show that there's 5 zip codes, but only 3 of them are showing residencies, right? So those are the 3 that I would target for that area. So this is a great site to find zip codes, guys, for your local stuff. For those of you in the U.S., those of you that aren't in the U.S., I'm sorry, just do a Google search. You'll figure out something. I'm sure there's something there for you. Okay, keep moving. So use semantic tags, guys, important. Now, comment and hashtags. Let me show you where that is. We're going to go back over here to the YouTube Live event screen. You guys see over here where there's when you're now, guys. I know we're creating a live event, but if we were to just go to upload right here, and I were to upload this file, so let's go ahead and I'll set this to unlisted because I don't want this to actually push across the Semantic Mastery network. Okay, so I'm going to go to unlisted. I'm going to hit the upload button. Let's go pick out that video that I just edited, video SEO Culpepper, right? See how it's going to upload? Once it gets done processing, guys, you can add, and wait a minute, I'm not seeing it. Usually on the bulk, maybe it's got to upload first. But there will oftentimes be a, maybe it's just on live events. I'm so used to seeing live events now. It must be. Because I thought that you could add, and by the way, if you have a playlist, and I think I mentioned that in the presentation. Playlist, yeah. So my bad. Maybe on a regular upload, so you can see how little I do regular uploads anymore. I thought there was the comment button here as well, but definitely there is on live events. But you see this, guys, where it says also share on, and you can add a message here. Check Google Plus for sure. You can add Twitter if you'd like to, but remember.
Hey, Bradley.
Go ahead.
If they just upload the video and after it's uploaded, they just need to change whatever or get that comment box. All they have to do is click on info and settings so that they can edit, and the box will appear.
Okay, great. Thank you for letting me know, because I'm so used to seeing it. But remember, I do everything through live stream now, so I thought it was available there. But you're probably right. Once it's done, you can edit it and it will show up, right? Okay. All right, anyways, the thing is here, guys, when you add a message to your video, remember, it's going to syndicate across your networks anyways, right? So it's going to go out to Twitter. It's going to repost on Google+. Don't worry about it posting twice. Why I like doing this here, guys, is because you can get an initial comment in here and then use hashtags. You'll notice Marco is the king of hashtags. Every time he posts in Facebook or in Google+, he uses several hashtags, and it's great. I honestly don't use them as much as I should. I'm trying to get in the habit of using them more because they are very, very powerful. And so right here you can use them. So I would put just a brief description, so something like check out whatever, let's say in need of, it would be like a call to action, so in need of plumbing repair services. It's a great place to get your keyword, and I always spell that wrong when I'm talking, so let's try that again. Plumbing repair services in Fairfax, Virginia. Let's spell that out just to give it some variation. Question mark. Check these guys out, something like that, whatever. It's just a call to action. Check these guys out. Okay, so now, then what I would do is put your hashtags in. So I would say plumber Fairfax, VA, and then I would do maybe Fairfax, and then maybe Virginia. Something like that, guys. And then when you go ahead and you post your video or publish your video, then it's going to actually create a post on your Google Plus page for your channel, right? And it's going to have these keywords in there and everything else. And what's interesting about this is that when anybody that is circled, this is not a Google Plus training course, guys, but you could do like instant SEO with Google Plus. It's incredible. If somebody has circled you guys probably have seen my posts show up in your Google searches before if you have not turned off your personal results. You see how it says hide personal results right here? So like if I search on, I'm just wondering if I can find something like, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but if I was to search on something right here, chances are that I'm going to see somebody else's post in my Google search results because I've got personal results showing. That's part of the reason why I do everything in Firefox, guys, where I'm not logged in and I'm always cleaning cache and cookies, is because I want to see the true search results, not what my personalized results are showing because I'm logged in, right? That's part of the reason. But when if anybody has circled you or your channel or you have people in your circles, and you post something like this with the, let me get back to the right screen, with the keywords and things like that, if somebody was to search for plumber plumbing Fairfax, VA, or emergency plumber Fairfax, or plumbing repair services, there's a good chance that my post is in my Google Plus post, which is this right here that we're creating, will show up on their search results, the front page, even if the video doesn't rank. Remember, we're going to rank the video anyways, but now we can also get a Google Plus post to show up, because 95% of the people out there, guys, we're SEOs, so we all know to clear our cache and our cookies. We know to use browsers that we're not logged into. We know that if we are logged into our browser, that we set the incognito window, right? We open an incognito window, or we click this button to turn off our private results. But how many other people know that? Very few. So what I'm saying is you can use Google Plus to your advantage to instant SEO, and that's what I call it, is instant SEO, because all of a sudden now this post will show up, this post that we're creating right here will show up in people's streams or on their search results if they search for a similarly related keyword phrase, because you've circled them. Does that make sense? Okay. So I just wanted to clear that up. That's why I say make sure that you use those tags, hashtags, and also click post to Google Plus, because it will immediately post it there. All right. The next thing is, let's keep moving, because I know we're already we're not going to get to near as much as I'd like to again. Seems like these 1 hours aren't long enough. Let's go to also share on Google Plus playlist. If you have a playlist, guys, if you have a playlist set up, and guys, you know I've been teaching you. Remember, this is a live event, so you're not going to see the playlist setting here until after it's been broadcast. But then go back and add it to the playlist. If you're doing a standard upload, you guys saw that's where you can see add to playlist. So you want to make sure that you add it to playlist. You guys should be using playlists for all of your videos. Guys, even if you only have one video, so you'd think, okay, that doesn't warrant creating a playlist. No, create a playlist. Create a playlist, because it's another URL. It's a container for your video that you can also optimize. So it's like, you know, the fancy term domain authority stacking. Well, this is YouTube stacking, right? You create a playlist, even if all you have is one video that would go into that playlist. Create a playlist, optimize it for various longer, you know, you can use broader keyword phrases or whatever, variations of your keyword phrase. You've got a playlist description. You fill out the playlist description. Now you've got essentially another URL that you could target with additional links. So use playlists for everything you do, right? Just so you know. All right, so then advanced settings. This is where you're going to set geotags and any other settings. Last week we talked about setting up your channel with defaults. So like if we go over here to advanced settings, you can see that my defaults are already set. If they are not set, then you want to go through here, which they should be by this point, guys. By this point, you've set up your channel, you've set up default settings, your upload defaults, right? But if you haven't, then this is where you would select them, fill out every single one of them, you know, select something, because it does help. And then you're going to put your recording date, like for today, I'll say today, because I'm uploading it today. Then for my video location, I would say now, if I've got a particular business, then I would put their NAP in, so their name, address, phone number, so that I would get a pinpointed location. So, you know, it would be a very accurate location. But if you're just going after general, or you're doing like a lead gen, so you don't have your own address or something like that, then you can just go with city. That's good enough. So let's say, in this case, Fairfax, VA. You can see that this is going to put me right in the dead center of what Google deems as the center of the county, or the city in this case. And if we zoom in a little bit, all we need to do is just grab, you know, click the pin and hold your mouse down. Just pick it up and just drag it a little bit, one way or the other, and drop it, and you'll see that that now changes to coordinates, longitude and latitude. Okay, very important that you do that. And then once you're done with that, then go ahead and click save. Okay, or upload, or done. In this case, like I said, this is just a demo video that we uploaded. But you click done. I know Scott Rogers, I believe, he asked about when you're uploading a video, how fast you got to be to fill in all of this information. Well, none of it gets published until you click done. Okay, so it doesn't matter. And once you click done is when it will actually publish a video. So take your time if you need to, get everything filled out properly, add it to a playlist. Set your advanced settings over here, set your coordinates if it's local, recording date, all that, and then click done. And then once you're done, you're done. Okay? Very important that you guys do that. I need to keep on moving. Transcriptions and captions, guys, this is what Jeff Gunn was asking about in the group, in the Facebook, the Facebook group. about transcriptions and captions. Yes, guys, that works very well. I don't typically do it anymore because it's very time consuming to do. Let's leave the page because I don't care about that video. It's just a demo. But let me just show you what I'm talking about. If we go into, let's go to the full video manager so that you guys are familiar with where you're at in the channel. Okay, so inside your video manager, guys, this is something that I know works really well. At least it used to. I haven't done it in probably over a year now because I haven't needed to. My syndication networks, like, I just rank stuff now because my networks are so powerful and I've got so many networks. You know what I mean? So like I don't have to do this as much as I used to. But I used to when I didn't have the infrastructure in place that that I do now. This is a trick. This is a hack that can help you to rank. If you have less resources, then this is something that you can do to help you boost videos. Or if you have a particularly stubborn video, this is something that you can do that can help, and that's to add the transcription, okay, or in the captions. So for example, if we take a look, let's go with one that's a little bit shorter. This is a 1 minute and 23-second video here. If I click on the edit button from the video manager, then from here you go to subtitles and CC for closed captioning. So you click on that, and you select your language. I'm going to say English, obviously. I'm going to set language, and that should be set to default, but I clear my cookies. So anyways, from there you can see that now you can actually add new subtitles from here. So like if I click on that, you'll see that this will allow me to upload a file, and you can also create new subtitles or CC or transcribe and set timings. You can do all of that. This will actually output a where's the act? Maybe it's under actions. Go back for a minute.
Hey Bradley.
Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You can just set it to caption automatically and then just edit.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Right here is this is auto. That's what I was looking for, was this button. But you see how this is going to give it. Google will try to determine what your speech is in the video, and it's okay, but it almost always needs edited. I've never seen a time where it didn't need editing. So you can go in here and you can actually edit the file here. If you have a particularly long video or something, this is only 1 minute and 22 seconds, so I might edit this manually myself. And it's got the timestamps and everything else, and that's what these captions are. But guys, if you need to, if you've got a longer video, and remember, I don't recommend that you spend a lot of time doing stuff like this. Recommend you find additional video, keywords to target and stuff like that. But if you wanted to use, if you had a video that you wanted to do this to, then go to speechpad.com. Here, I'm dropping this in the thing for you, Marco, if you can post that.
Yep.
But speechpad.com, guys, this is the service that I use for all my transcription stuff. And if you go to services right here, you can see that they have standard captions. It costs $1.50 per minute, and this is good for suitable for YouTube. It says right here, suitable for YouTube. So $1.50 per minute. So if you've got a 4-minute video, you pay them, what, $6, and they'll do it for you, and they'll have it timestamped and everything to where all you need to do is come back over here and click the upload button. Okay? So add new subtitles, English, and then you would say overwrite because I had it automatically create them. You click overwrite and then upload your file, okay? That they send you. It'll be all ready to go. And it's dirt cheap, guys. Let somebody else do that. What's your time worth? You know what I mean? So that's why I just use SpeechPad for all of my stuff when it comes to that, transcribing, captions. I don't really do the caption stuff anymore because, like I said, I don't need to. But if again, it's something that you can do. It will give you an additional boost.
Hey Bradley.
Yep.
From my testing, videos that are captioned rank better than ones that aren't. And when you actually take the time to edit, which you shouldn't be doing, your VA should be doing, but when you take the time to edit the caption, they rank even better.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. That's why I was pointing that out today. But it's not something that I take the time to do anymore, as I just don't need to. But I mean, like I said, absolutely, guys, it works. It definitely works. Okay. Okay, so let's get to on-page YouTube optimization. Google Hangouts on Air. There's two different ways to stream, right, guys? There's Google Hangouts on Air and there's YouTube Live. I do pretty much almost everything through YouTube Live because, first of all, I'm more comfortable and familiar with YouTube, the interface. And you guys saw, we just set up a mock YouTube Live event right here. We're still in the editing screen here. Okay, so it looks just like a regular YouTube upload, except it adds this ability to create the post over here, which I didn't realize regular uploads don't have that. Again, because I do everything in here, so I'm just so used to seeing it. But here is the YouTube live events, right? You guys saw it. You just go to Video Manager and Live Events. If your channel is not enabled for that, you need to just do a phone verification to make it enabled, okay? And you should have done that in the channel setup process anyways from last week, right? So just make sure that it's enabled. But then you create the live event right here. You can schedule it for in the future, which, by the way, this is incredibly powerful, guys. Let me repeat that. If you schedule the live event for in the future, this is incredibly powerful, okay? If you, like, so for example, let's say that I want to rank this video for plumbing. Let's go ahead and fill this out. Say plumbing repair, Fairfax, VA. Okay. Now, I could stream it right now, guys, and this is going to give me a ranking boost over a standard or traditional upload because it's a YouTube live event. Okay, this is definitely going to give me a ranking boost. However, if I go ahead and schedule this, let's say that I want to schedule this for a week from today. So I'm going to make it April 1st, and I'm going to schedule it for 6 p.m. in the evening. So that's, you know, basically 7 days from today. Then I go ahead and click Create Event. Well, guess what, guys? Since we have this set to public, this is going to go ahead and syndicate out across your network, and it's going to create. It's going to send the embed code out with that gray thumbnail image. Okay, the same gray thumbnail image that you see on the Google Events pages when I don't have a replay in place as a placeholder, like what there was on this page for the masterclass today. It's that gray thumbnail image. You all have seen it. So that gray thumbnail image will get pushed everywhere, but the embed code will be out there across your networks, sitting there dormant, just waiting for the broadcast to happen. So think about that, guys. You can season those posts. You can build additional links to those posts. If you have Tier 2 networks set up, your Tier 2 networks will build links to the Tier 1 embeds. You can do additional link building to those posts. You can use the backlink commando and backlinks indexer thing that I showed in Hump Day Hangouts earlier, where it will send automatic indexing to all of those posts to get them indexed between now and next week when you hit the broadcast button, right? You can do SendWire. You can do SCS Networker and GSA. You can do anything like that whatsoever to build links to those posts that are now have the embed code sitting on them, right, before you ever hit broadcast. And then when you go to broadcast the video, I have seen instant, like that, guys, instant ranking. Instant ranking. I've even ranked the gray thumbnail image before the event ever happened. Like before the video was ever streamed, okay? I've actually ranked the gray thumbnail image. However, I've taken for more competitive terms where the gray thumbnail image hasn't ranked, but I've spread it out, syndicated it out across the network, built links to those embeds that are sitting there dormant waiting for the broadcast. And as soon as you hit the broadcast button, I'm not kidding, instantly or within minutes, it's ranked on page 1 for that term. Okay, because it's already been seasoned. It's just been waiting for the broadcast. So I don't know if you guys were aware of that, but it's very, very powerful. Okay, so the difference between a Hangout on Air is a Hangout on Air is you initiate it within Google itself instead of within YouTube. So let's just see if we can do this real quick. Let's go over to Hangouts. If we click on Hangouts on Air, you can see a Create Hangout on Air button, but this is the extent of your optimization up front. Okay, you can give it a name, which will be the same as the YouTube title, and you can give a description here, and that will fill out the description area. But you can't put tags in it and things like that. You can't go to the advanced settings, which, remember, you can set geotags, that sort of thing. You can't do any of that in here. Okay, so again, you can do a Hangout on Air, and I do Hangouts on Air when I'm like if I'm interviewing a client, which we're going to talk about using that next week. Well, it might be 2 weeks now because I think it's definitely going to be 2 weeks now. Next week was supposed to be video production and get, you know, having videos created and that sort of thing, creating videos. What's the other term I'm looking for? Video creation and production. We were going to talk about that next week, but it's probably going to have to be pushed back to 2 weeks because next week we're going to talk about the companion website since we didn't get to that today like I wanted to. And this is probably going to happen, guys. You know, I think this is important. But my point is that YouTube Hangouts on Air. One of the ways that I use Hangouts on Air is because they're quick and they're easy. And again, now I just go through YouTube Live for just about everything. But if I had like an impromptu something that I wanted to start very quickly, I'll just do a Hangout on Air. once this is streamed, by the way, this is still going to give you a ranking boost over a traditional upload. And you can still schedule this too, okay? But again, if I'm going to schedule anything, I'm going to do it through YouTube Live Events because it gives me the ability to add tags, to do other stuff, add to the playlist, everything else that you can't do from a Hangouts on Air screen. But they're essentially the same thing. There is a bit of a difference too, and I'll have to locate the link that shows the difference between the two. But YouTube Live, you can get full HD quality, both audio and video, whereas with Google Hangouts, it's limited to its bandwidth. Google Hangouts on Air have a bandwidth limitation, and the audio sucks in a Hangout on Air. It's great for speech, guys. It's great for, and that's why I said, like, I will use Hangouts on Air to interview business owners, and I'll have it's just like a 3 to 5 minute interview where I'll ask them, hey, who are you and how did you get into this business? They'll introduce themselves and how they got into the business. What kind of services do you provide? They'll elaborate on that briefly. What separates your business from your competitors that provide the same service? They'll talk on that. Okay, great. How can people contact you? And I'll rank those all day long. Okay, and those are great for lead gen, guys. Those are great, and it's something that you can do to impress your clients too. And so I'll, sometimes I'll just set up a Hangout. Again, now I just do it through YouTube Live, but I've done it that way many, many times through Hangouts on Air, and they rank very well. Once they're done, then you can go in, and they'll be on your YouTube channel once they're done. So you just go back through Video Manager, and you'll see them here. If you don't see them here, go back to Live Events, click on Completed, and you'll see it in your Completed menu. Okay, if you don't see it in your regular Video Manager, click on Live Events and then Completed, and you'll see it there. Okay, and you can optimize it then afterwards. However, like I said, with YouTube Live, you can optimize everything up front, and that's why I believe it gives it a ranking boost. Okay. Lastly, just so you guys know, because I know I've showed this in the past, but I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this. Let's take a look at this. These are completed events right here, right? You can see that. If I click on the Edit button, you're going to see this is interesting, and this is where I discovered this a while back. Just playing, I wasn't even looking for this, but I realized where the ranking boost is coming from. If you see right here, this is called the raw file on the edit screen, and you'll see that this is called livestream.str, right? Livestream.str. So if I was to upload a video, and let's say it was, what did I say? Video SEO Culpeper VA. And that's a Windows media file, so that would be a WMV file extension, right? .wmv, right? You guys are aware of that? Okay, or it could be, let's say it was an MP4 file. Either way, if I was to do a traditional upload, right here where it says raw file, it would say Video SEO Culpeper VA .wmv or .mp4, depending on which kind of file type it was that I uploaded. But you can see when you do a live stream or a Google Hangout on Air, it gives it a livestream.str file name. That's why it doesn't matter. You don't need to optimize the file name or any of the metadata if you're doing a live stream. If you're broadcasting a pre-recorded video through Hangouts on Air, which I don't recommend, or if you do it through YouTube Live using like Wirecast, for example, or backlinks, YouTube Commando or Tube Commando or whatever it was that Anthony Hayes produced, Wirecast, and I'm going to share a link here in a minute because we're running out of time. But for Wirecast as well. Jeff Gunn actually posted in the Facebook group about Wirecast version 6 and the link to download it, guys. It's free. That's how I stream a lot of my videos, pre-recorded videos using YouTube Live. But if you're streaming videos into YouTube, you don't need to worry about optimizing file names and metadata and stuff like that because it never sees it. You're streaming it into YouTube, right? And here's what the file type looks like: livestream.str. That right there is why we get a ranking boost from these. And it'd be interesting if we could find a way to like encode something that way, but I'm pretty sure it's proprietary code that only Google knows. You know what I mean? So, but anyways, I just want to show that to you. I thought that was interesting. So, just so you know, the difference is Google Hangouts on Air. You initiate Google Hangouts on Air through Google. You can only optimize the title and the description, but you can optimize them after broadcast. They're great for like interview style stuff. I do not recommend streaming pre-recorded videos through Hangouts on Air. It is a shitty outcome. It comes out really crappy. The video and the audio is terrible when you do that. So if you're going to be doing pre-recorded videos, I recommend it. In fact, I just recommend using YouTube Live for everything. It's just like a standard upload. You can optimize everything ahead of time, and it comes out with, you can have, depending on your bandwidth, you can have full HD quality and full HD audio, high fidelity audio. Okay. So lastly, and then we're going to have to move on. I'll look at a couple questions, guys. I'll stay an extra couple minutes, but I'm really trying to respect the time that we set for this. But I do want to say, and next week, guys, we're going to talk about companion website, and we'll probably spend the whole week or the whole webinar on that because that's important. There's a lot of stuff that I'm going to go over. It's not going to be a WordPress tutorial or a website tutorial, but I'm going to talk about how we use the companion website to benefit both the YouTube videos and the website itself. And then we'll go over a few questions here. But the last thing I want to do is talk about Wirecast. Here is an article and like a video that Jeff Gunn posted inside the Facebook group, and I'm giving him credit for that because it was great that he did that. I've got an older version of Wirecast that I use. It works fine, so I have not upgraded. There is a free version and there's a paid version. I just use the free version. You guys can check these two links out, Marco, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
And there's instructions on how to use Wirecast. Guys, please don't ask me how to use Wirecast. There's plenty of tutorials there, including the link that I just sent you that will show you how to use Wirecast. Okay, please don't ask me to teach you how to do that because, again, just follow the other people's instructions. I don't need to tell you how to do that. Somebody else can show you how to do that. Okay? So, all right. Let me go take a look at a few questions, guys. I know this is going to keep happening, but that's what the Facebook group is for. So I don't want anybody. Please don't get mad at me if if I don't answer all your questions during these events. I think the training is more important. Your questions can get answered in the Facebook group, guys. Don't be shy for sharing your questions in the Facebook group, please. That's what they're there for. Carl says, I loaded a video 6 months ago on my personal YouTube account. Several days ago, I loaded the same video on my Pet Lovers Persona YouTube account, and now I've lost my previous page 1 Google rankings. That's odd. It could just be dancing, Carl. That typically doesn't happen. That seems odd to me. I mean, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying that seems odd. It could just be dancing. It could be just a coincidence. It says now the video we uploaded on the Persona page now appears on page 2 and shows the new upload date of March 16th. As long as they were separate channels, it shouldn't be an issue, Carl. I've never had an issue with that. Again, it could be just that it's just kind of a fluke and it will come back because that happens often with videos. Guys, I know a lot of you freak out. I know I have in the past where you upload a video and it might land on page 1 or maybe page 2, and then 2 or 3 days goes by and the video disappears and it's not in the index at all, and you start freaking out. I know some of you members have asked me in private messages about that, and it's normal. It's the dance. Now, I know you've had one that's been there for a while, Carl, and it could have been something that triggered that. I don't know, but it's probably going to come back. But either way, it shows that your Persona page appeared on page 2. Well, that's going to end up ranking too. So that I would focus on pushing on that one because the other one, if it was already ranked, I wouldn't worry about it. It would probably come back. If you want to update me, Carl, next week, I'd like to know what the results were of that. But chances are you're going to end up ranking the other one anyways. Okay. Is this normal? Yeah, no, I don't know. That seems odd that the other video would have disappeared. If it was the same channel, then yes. But if they were 2 separate channels, that does seem odd to me. And again, guys, YouTube, Google, there's always this weird stuff that happens. It's just kind of the randomness. There's what I call an algorithmic anomaly, right? That kind of stuff happens often, okay? So there's sometimes no rhyme or reason, okay? Jamie says, yeah, I love this stuff. Jonty says, hey, let's see. Gary, here was my G+ page link for IFTTT. It is a hack from a Mac user. Okay, so it was Gary. Thanks, Gary. I appreciate that. That was for the MP3 stuff for Mac. Scott says, where's the best place to upload images for G-Love? The choice I see are Picasa Web. Yeah, there's a Panoramio. That's another one. That's great for local stuff. At least it used to be. I haven't done that in God, a long time. But let's see if it's still. Yeah, This is great for local guys. This is Panoramio Google Maps. You can actually set upload images with geometadata attached to them, like longitude and latitude. Which there's a program, and you can actually you can upload images here and add geodata to the images once they're uploaded. You can use this Panoramio to add the geodata, and then you can drop images in. Like I've done this in the past, where like I'll take images that are keyword optimized, like let's say like for tree services, for example, because I do a lot of lead gen stuff in the tree service industry. Be like tree service would be one keyword. The 3 main keywords are tree service, tree removal, and tree trimming. in that order of priority as well. And so I would take like a tree service image and put the geodata, which would be the NAP, the name, address, and phone number of the business, and drop it in, like, you know, over here. Like, let's say this was where the physical location is of the business. I drop it in maybe here. Then I do a tree removal image over here. Then I do a tree trimming image over here, and ends up ranking for that. It ends up ranking the Google Maps for that. It's great because you can get your NAP in there, plus your longitude and latitude, your coordinates for the business. So Panoramio is another one, Scott. That's a great place to add images, especially for local stuff. And then see images for Google Pages. See, but I do not see images for Google Pages. I want to share those image URLs elsewhere. Well, there are. I'm curious now. Now you've got me. Let's check this out real quick. Let's go to. I don't know if we have any images uploaded to our channel or not. Because there are. I don't know if the. That's interesting. Let's just check this out real quick, guys. I'll stay an extra couple minutes. So I want to get through a few of these questions. I feel bad that you guys didn't get your questions answered last week either. Like I said, that's going to happen though. Let's go to this one. Okay, so we have a photo here. So if we click on that photo, does it give us a URL right here that we can open in another browser, or do we have to be logged in? I'm just curious if that makes a difference. Yeah, that didn't work. Okay. I'm just curious because if you can get a unique URL, let's see, what about a share? Is there a share button? Let's see. Right here is a share button. Well, that's going to give us, okay. I don't know if this is answering your question or not, Scott, but you can take the photo and then share it and then take the Google Plus post URL. I don't know that that's exactly what you were looking for, but you can take the Google Plus post URL and then share that as well. I know that there was somebody who was talking about, I think it was Hernan, was talking about ranking images in Google for Google Images by using a IFTTT recipe that posts to Flickr. So the image to Flickr, it will auto post it to Flickr, and then the Flickr posts or the Flickr images start ranking in Google Images, which is another it's a vertical search, right? So for example, if we go to Google and we type, you guys know, like, that's the trends tool. I don't want that, but one second. You guys know if you do, like, let's just say tree service, I'll say Culpeper because I don't have anything ranked here. But say tree service Culpeper, you've got your vertical searches up here, right? So you know you can go to the video search or you can go to the image search, that sort of thing. And I know that that's one of my images right there from one of my tree service sites. But anyways, you know I know Hernan has been ranking images. I don't know how valuable that is. I guess it depends on the type of business. For Scott, I think you have kind of a visual business with your wine stuff and your boxes. So that might be something you want to do is check out, get with Hernan, just ping him in Google Plus, and he'll share that recipe with you. I don't do a lot of image stuff, but I know that I have done Panoramio for local stuff, and it has worked really, really well in the past. Okay, I got to keep moving. I don't know what stacking authority is, but I want to do that. What we teach is how we stack authority, and you know, it's a kind of a fancy name for the way we interlink properties and things like that. But you're catching on, Scott. We'll elaborate more on that as the training continues. Steve says, "Hey Marco, thanks for help today answering some of my questions." Awesome, Steve. Steve's been very active in our mastermind. Scott Gray, for the spun articles, do you use them for the video description? Yes. Scott's been a long-time member of Semantic Mastery. When we were a very small private group, he's been with us for a long time. So, welcome. Good to see you here, Scott. Yes, do I use them for the video description? I do. In fact, there is a spinning. Let's just open up Spinner. Is this it? No, that's not the one I was looking for. This, you can unspin stuff here, guys. It's free. You paste your spun text in here, and then you convert right here, and it will give you an unspun version of it. But also, I know Keith Goodwin in the Facebook group, because in response to a question that Scott Rogers was asking about outputting from multiple versions of the article all at one time, and he recommended, I have never used it, but it was called Spinner Chief. Spinner Chief right there, and it's free, and you can output multiple versions of a spun article all in one go. And so it's called Spinner Chief, and that's what Keith Goodwin, the creator of Super Spun Articles, that's what he recommends, and he says you can do it with just the free version. Okay, so that's Spinner Chief there, and yes, that's what I use, Scott, for most of my lead gen videos and things like that. Is I just grab a Super Spun article from Keith, and then I use that to output all of my descriptions. Okay. All right, keep moving. We got a few more we'll get through, guys, and that's it. I'm sorry. Scott says, is there a source to discover which hashtags are being used? Yes, Google+, which are popular or trending. And there's one for Twitter, too. Again, I am not a Twitter guys, so I can't really give you a whole lot of information on that. But do you ever place hashtags in descriptions? Yeah, you can. I don't know. There's something else I wanted to show you guys with YouTube stuff. Let's take a look at this. All right. This is another place that you can use hashtags, guys. It's very powerful. Is once your video has been uploaded or streamed or whatever, that's an awful picture or still of me. Once your video has been streamed or uploaded, guys, right here, you see this? This is comments, guys. These are Google Plus comments. You can use hashtags here, and this will also give you a backlink. So this is something else for another training, guys. We'll have to get into this a little bit more, but you can set up link wheels using comments, Google Plus comments for YouTube videos. That's very, very powerful. Very similar to what we do with YouTube playlists. You can link to the next video in the series right here, and if you paste the title or paste the URL of the video, it will convert it to the anchor text being the title. And it's very interesting, but you can comment on your own videos, or you can use some of your personas and log into your personas and go comment on the videos and set up link wheels using Google Plus comments. It's very, very interesting how you can do that. It's very powerful too. I've tested that. Okay, so we'll send that up for another one. But as far as hashtags, I do want to cover that very briefly. Let's exit out of here, and I'll show you. If you go to just Google Plus right here, you can do a search on hashtags. So, for example, you could do, let's just say plumber. See how I did a search on just hashtag plumber, and this shows the hashtags that are the most popular for that seed term of plumber. Okay, so these are where you can find the most popular hashtags based on any seed keyword. Just do a Google Plus search, hashtag whatever your main keyword is, and this will show you all of the popular. In order for them to show up in this menu here, they have to be used consistently. Does that make sense? It's just like Google Suggest. So that's how you find popular hashtags. Okay. Let's see. In YouTube descriptions, is it worth linking out to an authority site? Yeah, you can. I don't typically do it. You know what I do is I link to my other properties. Like, for example, I will link to the Google Plus page and Facebook. If I have a Facebook page set up for it, I'll do things like that because they're all no-follow links. I usually don't link to like a Wikipedia article and stuff. I know other people that do. I typically don't. Okay, just so you know, I typically don't. I will link to my other, just like what we teach with interlinking properties. If I'm linking to, I'll post a link to my Facebook page, my Twitter profile, LinkedIn page if I have it, things like that. But I usually do not link out to authority sources. Test that, Scott. I would just say test that. I don't do it, but I know that other people do, and they say that it helps. So you can test that. Okay. Live event schedule with a head sounds like a surge rank. A great title for a new SEO class. That actually is a pretty good one, surge rank. That's pretty cool. Thanks, Scott. Please cover assigning YouTube pages to one channel. Okay, David, we're probably going to have to end it after that. Just one second. I have found over the years, Ken says, I have found over the years an interview video has a much higher click-through rate and conversions than just a typical video commercial. Yeah, Ken, I have too. I found that they convert really, really well, especially for like local stuff, and they rank easy. And the clients find them to be kind of valuable too, like because it kind of impresses them that they get to be on camera and talk about their business and that sort of thing. Sometimes you've got to deal with people that are completely digitally illiterate, so you've got to set them up, actually go physically set them up with a webcam and stuff. And I have a loaner cam that I use that I give to clients if I'm going to do that. But I found that it is pretty, it converts well. David, okay, please assign YouTube pages to one channel. I've talked about this multiple times. In fact, let me see. I'll go see if I can just find the link right now since we're on. Let me go back real quick. It's probably going to be in my channel. I think it is. did a separate video on it. So, okay, right here. Here's an adding Google Plus page manager. And then from a page manager, I'm going to post this right here. And again, guys, this will be in the notes along with the replay. And then I'm going to wrap up as soon as I go through this one. So that's a separate video that I did for adding a Google Page Manager. Once you've so I'm not going to go through that right now because there's a video right there that teaches you how to do that. Once you've added a Google Page Manager, okay, so for example, you see that I'm logged in right now as my page, right? It's Semantic Mastery. So if I come back over here and I go to Google Plus Page, now I'm going to come over here and go to Settings. I'm going to come over here and go to Managers. And you can see that I have myself as the owner. Bradley Benner is the owner. I've got Adam as the manager. I've got another one of my Google accounts as a manager. I'm not sure why, but I'm sure there was a reason at the time. And then Zane Miller, who had been helping us with some stuff, he's a manager. So if I wanted to assign, again, the video that I just posted will teach you how to add managers. It's very simple. All you do is come and go to your page, make sure you're logged in as your page, go to Settings. Once you're in Settings, you click on Managers. From here, you can add managers. So I could essentially add David Ross right here if I wanted. I click Invite. David, you'd get the invitation in your Gmail. Might be in the Social tab that it comes up, and you should also get it in your Google Plus notifications as well. But then you would accept the manager position that I offered you, and then I'm going to cancel that. But then once the manager has been created, like I can go to Adam right now, and if I click on the drop down, I can transfer ownership to Adam. You see that? My main Google Plus profile, Bradley Benner, owns this page because I set it up under my page. But if I wanted to transfer this over to Adam, that's how I would do it. So, for example, if you have, that's part of, like, if you've got clients that you've set up the pages under your own account and you want to transfer it to them, to their account, that's how you do it. You invite them to be a manager first. Once they're a manager, then you can assign ownership. Okay? Same way as if you create a page underneath a persona because it's unrelated to you personally and what you're an authority in. So, like, for example, I know Scott Rogers is in the wine business. Let's say he wanted to go target plumbers for some reason. He wants to go do some SEO for plumbers. So if he created a Joe the Plumber persona and then created the Joe's Plumbing page underneath Joe's the Plumber persona, but he wanted to be able to manage the page under Scott Rogers' profile because he's always logged into Scott Rogers, right? Then he would add Scott Rogers himself as a manager. And then he would have Joe's Plumbing page in his page dashboard that he could go log into and manage. Okay, and at any time. So that's why I separate those the way that I do. But I hope that was made sense. But guys, we got to wrap it up. Sorry if I didn't answer all these questions, guys. You're going to have to post them in the Facebook community, the Facebook group. Anything that did not get answered, post them in there, and we'll try to get them answered within the next 48 hours. We went an hour and 15 minutes tonight, so whew, tired. It's been 2 hours now. Marco, do you have any parting words?
No. I was just looking at this long question from Carlos Preacher.
Oh shit, he did ask a question. Damn it, he asked a question. Where is he? I see it now. All right, I'm going to answer this one, Carlos, because I know you posted a support ticket, I believe, and I told you to post it over here. I just wish I thought I told you to post it in Hump Day Hangouts, but anyways, I'll answer this.
We didn't get to that. We didn't get to it there.
Okay, well then I'll definitely answer it, Carlos. I'm sorry, dude. Let's go through it. Last mastermind, you mentioned charging $100 monthly to live stream videos. Guys, it varies. Okay, so I did mention that, but that's not a hard and fast rule. It's just something, it varies. That's the agreement that I have worked out with the one company that I do a lot of volume with. If I was doing a one-on-one video for a client, I would not just charge $100. I guess it would depend on the keyword too, though. There are variables there. Anyways, as a follow-up to that, could I create a niche channel and use the Firefox extension mentioned, probably to download the video, by a member to capture a video and upload a business's Yellow Page video to my channel and promote it with IFTTT or live stream or both? Is Yellow Pages okay with that? Probably not. Okay, I'm not an attorney, and guys, I'm not going to recommend that you do something that's illegal or that could get you in trouble. That said, I have done that many, many times, and I have never gotten in any trouble for it. Not saying it's legal. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just telling you I've done it many, many times, and I've gotten away with it. Okay, where I've scraped. In fact, I've used that as a lead gen tool. In other words, I've used that as a foot in the door strategy with clients. When I when I was prospecting. I would go scrape somebody's Yellow Page video, download it, upload it to my channel, rank it, then call that customer, because I know in order for Yellow Pages to give you a free video, well, it's not free, but they give you a video. It's like a value add-on, right? They add that to a pay-per-click package. It's an overall advertising package that they sell you. And I know because I've gotten many clients this way, the exact same way you're asking about, Carlos, is and from talking to those clients, they would pay like minimum of $600 a month for an advertising package with Yellow Pages, which would include pay-per-click, and they'd throw in one of these crappy videos. That the videos actually aren't all that bad, but they never rank. They never do anything with the videos, so they're worthless videos. In fact, if you go look at the Yellow Pages channel, and you can do some Boolean searches, which we provided last week in last week's training or the week before or whatever, and you're going to be getting them again. But Boolean searches, you can actually pinpoint very specifically, like plumbers in a particular city, Yellow Pages, and you can come back with any videos that have been done. You'll see that the view count is very, very low. It's because nobody ever sees those videos because they're never ranked. Does that make sense? So as a foot in the door strategy, I would go scrape those videos or download them, optimize the video file. This was before live streaming. I don't really do this anymore. I don't have to, but I used to do this a lot. And I would optimize the video file, upload it to YouTube, push it out across my IFTTT networks, rank it. Then I would call the customer or the business and say, by the way, go search for Plumber Fairfax, VA, and you'll see your video from Yellow Pages ranked on page 1. I did that just to show you I know what I'm doing. Would you like to talk some more? Or would you like me to keep it up there like that? And generally that would get the conversation going, which was always the hardest part. Once the conversation got going, then I could sell them on additional services or whatever, and they would end up telling me that an advertising package was a minimum of $600 a month. Some of these guys were paying $900, $1,000, $1,200 a month for Yellow Pages stuff that didn't produce well for them, right? And then I'd upsell them on local SEO services, ranking Google Maps, and all that kind of stuff, and it was a beautiful thing. So it works very well. However, that said, I don't know that it's legal. And I'm not recommending that you do it. I don't think Yellow Pages would be okay with it. I just never got caught, and I used it many, many times, if that makes sense. What about YouTube and duplicate content? Again, if it's on a different channel, it's not duplicate content. I've covered that many, many, many times in IFTTT SEO Academy, in the Facebook group, in the Hump Day Hangouts. It's not duplicate content if it's on a separate channel. If you try to upload,
I think what he's talking about duplicate content is if it's on Yellow Pages and YouTube.
No, but no, that's not duplicate content either, because that would be, no, it's not. And if you take the same video and try to upload the same video to the same channel, YouTube will flag it and they won't allow you to upload it. And they'll give you a red flag and an error message, a warning message, and everything else. But if you upload it to a different channel, you won't have any problem. That said, also if you live stream the video, so if you broadcast a pre-recorded video through a live stream, through Wirecast or whatever, it makes it a unique file. So you could take the same video and Wirecast it or broadcast it, stream it into the same channel multiple times, and it won't show up as duplicate content. But if you just tried to upload the file, it will show up as duplicate content, only in the same channel. Make no mistake about that, okay? Lastly, on the right where it is on the business, let's see, wait, I'm sorry, or would it be easier to purchase one of your IFTTT packages and run a campaign on the video right where it is on the business channel? No, don't do that. Because then you're building up somebody else's asset. Do not do that. Hey, look, if you want to buy one of our IFTTT SEO packages, please come buy one. We'll be happy to sell you an IFTTT SEO package, but I would not recommend that you do a link boosting package to somebody else's video on somebody else's channel. Okay, because you're building up their asset then. Okay, I don't recommend doing that. Build your own assets. So I am building branding links to their channel and video. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. I'd run it on your own channel. It keeps you in control, right? He who has the power, so make sure that you stay in control. Lastly, could I promote straight from the Yellow Page channel if they do not have the video on their own channel? You mean could you promote the video that's on their channel and rank it? Well, you could, but once again, you'd be building up Yellow Page's asset, not your own. So I don't recommend doing that. You guys, you can get videos done for cheap enough on Fiverr or Odesk. I use Odesk for most of that kind of stuff. But don't go through all that. Get a video done. Get a video done so that you don't have to worry about copyright issues and that sort of thing. Just get one done. Buy a PLR video. We're going to talk about that next week, or now in 2 weeks when we get on the video production, how there are a lot of really good PLR videos out there that you can buy, and you can brand them with a still shot, like an opening slide and a closing slide that makes them unique, and you can use those that are high quality videos that are done. You can get them for dirt cheap, and we'll go over that in the video production 2 weeks from today. Okay, so next week we're going to talk about companion website. If you can help with that, that would be great. I'm sure others might have the same questions. You guys rock. Thanks a bunch. Carlos Preacher. Yeah, Carlos, I'm sorry I didn't get that sooner, but now we are going to wrap it up, guys. So, anyways, thanks, Marco, for being here. I appreciate you staying late, man.
All right, man.
All right, guys. We'll see you all next week.
Night, everybody.